Hello everyone, this is Vinayak Naravde. In the UPSC CSE 2020 examination, I have received All India rank 37, and I consider this as a time to give back to the community, and I thank Unacademy for providing me the platform to connect with aspirants and to share my notes, strategies and conduct live sessions in the upcoming future. So in this particular video, we will be talking about how to deal with current affairs. So as we all know that current affairs is going to be very important, it's a very important and integrated aspect of the preparation of a civil services aspirant, and there are different current affairs approaches which you have to follow for prelims, mains and personality tests. So this will be a comprehensive video, and before that, once again I would like to thank Unacademy, which is one of the largest platform for educators, for learners, wherein we have Bahubalis of content making such as Mrunal sir, such as Pratik sir and others who are continuously in touch with aspirants, who are guiding them and motivating them and helping them to clear this one of the toughest exams in the world. So starting with the current affairs strategy, this particular video, the overview, I'll start with providing you the resources which you will be actually following while reading the current affairs. What are the different online resources, what are the newspapers you need to read in, then what is the actual importance of current affairs, because all of us know that they are important, but how are they important in each aspect of your preparation or in each aspect of the examination? That is something that also I'll be giving you an overview. Then the approach for current affairs, it differs. First of all, for prelims there is a different approach, for mains there is again a different approach, and for personality test you have to basically integrate the current affairs in your answers, or there can be a direct question asked to you about a current affairs. So all these three things have separate approaches. And then one of the important questions which I get is, so how to make notes for current affairs, or notes at all needed for your particular preparation. So this is something that I'll be dealing into, and one of the most important things while dealing with current affairs is revisions. So how many revisions do you need to make, or are revisions at all necessary? If you are doing revisions, what should be the approach? That is something that I'll be dwelling into deep into this particular video. So I'll start with resources and magazines as well as the online content that you'll be using. So first of all, newspapers. So newspapers are one of the most important things. Why? Because anything that is happening around you, you read about it. It evolves into something on the next day, you again read about it. So how is this helping you? It is not only helping you stay in touch about the evolution of a particular phenomenon, but it is helping you continuously revise that particular aspect, because after evolution, the first paragraph of a particular news is always about what had happened previously. So you are continuously revising it, and in this particular revision you are keeping yourself updated and keeping yourself up to date for your particular examination, because there are going to be facts, there are going to be issues, there are going to be contexts which you will be needing to while writing mains answers, or while basically dealing with prelims objectives, or giving a personalized touch to any particular answer in the personality test. So newspapers, it is very important. You have to read the newspapers, and you can refer to either one. You can refer to the Hindu or the Indian Express. If you have gone through the personality test interview, you will be wanting to refer to if you have gone through my personality test video, you will see that for personality test you can refer more newspapers, one of which has to be a local newspaper. So but for prelims and mains, either one of this is going to be sufficient for your current affairs. Now magazines. Now why do I recommend magazines? I recommend only one monthly magazine of any coaching institute, which will provide you a consolidated material for that particular month. Now why do I recommend this? Because as I have told previously, that when you are reading news, you are reading about evolution of a particular issue. But when you read it in a magazine, it will have all the points. It will have the pros, it will have the cons, it will have the issues, it will have the way forward. So it will be a consolidated whole, and that's why a magazine will help you to look at that particular issue from a holistic point of view. But newspapers will provide you one particular dimension. There may be an there may be an editor who might be looking at the pros. There may be another editor who will be looking at the cons. So this is the way you have to basically deal with these particular things. Magazines are going to help you a lot. The third thing is with respect to online resources. So in this age of infodemic, there are a lot of online resources which are available. So you have to basically make limited use and specific use of certain of these resources. And how do you do that? First of all, there are certain blogs which are provided by various coaching institutes, and if you suppose if there is limited time for you, you have only 20 to 25 minutes to go through the news for the day, then you can refer to these blogs. Now, how do these blogs help? They have the most important news for the day, and you can directly go onto that particular website for reading those particular blogs of current affairs. So this can help you limit your time on one particular day, wherein you have very limited time for preparation. Now, the second is with respect to All India Radio. All India Radio, especially the morning discussions, are very fruitful. You can go through them. They provide you a holistic and government standpoint on these particular aspects. So this is going to be very important for you. RSTV, a very important source, a governmental source. It will have the big picture, it will have the discussions from civil services point of view, and it will also have other programs like Desh Deshantar, the big picture, which will provide you a lot of valuable information and the practical approach which you need while facing this particular examination. Because I have mentioned in a lot of videos that your recommendations need not be utopian, they need to be practical. And these RSTV debates will help you understand what are the practical usages of the particular of a particular issue. Then this is something I also recommend, the print Cut the Clutter. This is from a journalistic point of view. It will provide you the actual facts and details about any issue that is going in the news. So this will help you basically understand a particular topic on the basis of facts in the most limited amount of time. It won't give you any opinions, but it will give you the facts. So from that point of view, this is very important. Second thing which I would like to focus on is how important are current affairs. As I have already mentioned that they are important in every aspect of this examination process. For prelims, there may be around 15 to 20 questions that can be current affairs based, or that can be about news which has been recently in news, about a place which has recently been in news, about a government scheme which has been recently launched. So from prelims point of view, 15 to 20 questions minimum are going to be asked on current affairs. They can also be about a publication which was recently released. So it is very important from prelims. From mains also. Now consider GS2 and GS3. GS1 is a static portion, but society has some sort of dynamic aspects to it, because some questions in society may be asked about the current happenings. So usually you can expect 20 markers in GS1 paper to be based on current affairs. GS2 and GS3, again, they have 40 to 50 markers each based on current affairs. If you consider GS2, you will be having, if you consider GS2, you will be having polity, you will be having IR. IR is completely based on current affairs. So you have to be very sure about the happenings in the diplomatic world. For polity also, there are a lot of things. There are court judgments, there are different laws and bills introduced into the parliament. There are some committees set up. So on those lines, polity is also a very much hotspot of current affairs based questions. So GS2 will have at least 40 to 50 marks based on current affairs. GS3, I would say it won't be 40 to 50, but it will be around 70 to 80 marks based on current affairs. If you have seen the 2020 CSE mains paper, it had at least 80 to 90 marks of the questions which were derived from current affairs related issues. And the nature of the topic of GS3 is such that it is dynamic. There are issues like economics, environment, there's disaster management. So all these topics, they derive questions from current happenings, and hence even for mains, you will be looking forward towards at least 130 to 150 marks in GS2 and GS3, 20 marks in GS1. Now you will be surprised to see that GS4 also has a lot of importance of current affairs, because of the pandemic, there will be various case studies or role playing models which will be put into. So you have to understand such things in these cases, that there can be actually a 20 marker case study or a 40 marker case studies from based on current happenings, like because of COVID, suppose how will you act if you are the DM of a district? How will you allocate oxygen? There are deaths happening. Whether you will implement any particular section. What is the way you will have? You will ask the hospitals to understand the triage policy. So it can directly have case studies, and even in theoretical questions, you can make use of current affairs, especially in examples, and that will give a really good impression to the examiner, because he will be saying that you are actually making use of current happenings and then using them in the examples. I will tell you one example. There was some Karvi scam which I had read last year, and I was using it in so much examples for white collar corruption. So that is the kind of way you need to improve your example base for your theoretical questions for ethics. And similar thing can be done with respect to essays, because once you have different amount of dimensions, when you are writing philosophical essays, when you are writing informative essays, you need to exemplify your thesis, whatever you are making in each paragraph. And if these examples are current happenings or recent happenings, then it is going to put a lot of impression on the examiner, because there are certain examples which are used repetitively by the aspirants. But if there is something new, and if it is something recent, then it is going to add a lot of value to your answers, and the examiner is going to appreciate your analytical skills to link that particular current happening to an answer. So even for mains, current affairs are very, very, very important. Now, personality test. I have already dealt with about current affairs in the personality test interview, that when you are preparing for personality test, you have to divide your preparation into 3 aspects. One is your DAF, the second is with respect to current affairs, and third is with respect to opinion based questions. You can have anywhere between 40 to 60% of your questions based on current affairs or current affairs derived questions. So either the questions can be directly asked, or they can be asked based on your background and some current happenings depending upon your profile. So overall, as I have mentioned here, it is very important in every aspect of your preparation. Current affairs is going to be the base, and it is going to be the foundation on which you will build upon to have a very successful score and a very good rank in this particular examination. So another question which I get is, sir, how much time should we be dedicating for current affairs? Now this is this PPT is for prelims plus mains. For this particular slide is for prelims plus mains. For personality test, I have prepared a separate video, and I also have a slide which I will be touching upon. But for prelims and mains, you need not dedicate more than 1.5 hours for newspaper reading. So for personality test, you might want to basically give more time. For newspaper reading, you might want to give 3.5 hours, because you'll be reading multiple newspapers. But for prelims and mains, 1.5 hours at max is the maximum that you have to dedicate. Then you can dedicate some time for internet research, because everything is not available in newspaper. So you might want to basically look for a topic in the syllabus and type RSTV in front of it, and you will get anything, you will get everything related to that particular topic on RS television, Rajya Sabha television, and that will help you basically integrate or value add to your answers, and this will help you get that 0.51 mark extra in every question that you are writing, because that will show the examiner that you are actually linking a static portion to a current happening or a recent happening of the last 3, 4, 5 years, and then presenting it, and that is going to impress him or her. So revision of monthly magazines again is something important that you need to do. So this should be as per convenience. In 2.5 months before prelims, when we are reading monthly magazines, you have to basically dedicate around 3 hours for current affairs, including newspaper reading, and the remaining time will be for revising monthly magazines. So that will be around 1 to 2 hours for revising monthly magazines, because you need to revise a lot, especially during prelims. We will talk about revision in the upcoming slides. And if you are making any notes, I won't advise making notes for prelims. I'll be talking about note making again. But if you're making any notes for mains, you also need to revise them as per your convenience. So that is the way. So overall, for prelims and mains, you should not spend more than 2 hours every day, and during prelims times you should not spend more than 3 hours every day on current affairs, because there's a lot of static portion which you also have to cover, and you also have to add value. There is answer writing which you have to do, there is optional subject which you have to do. So you have to strategize and manage your time in a very efficient manner. So this is what I would recommend, and this is something that you may follow. So let's start with what is the approach for current affairs for prelims, because as you see, I have mentioned what are the important aspects in current affairs for prelims. There are a lot of facts and data sets which may be important. For example, there may be a question, what is the fiscal deficit of India? So that is related to data. There may be a question about a national park or a reserve forest which is in news, or a wildlife sanctuary which is in news. So that is again a current affairs derived question. There may be a new scheme which is launched, or there may be a review of an existing scheme, or they may ask you about this scheme belongs to which ministry. So that is the example of government scheme. Similarly, with respect to art and culture, science and tech. Science and tech, as per my research in the recent happenings, science and tech related questions are completely derived from current affairs. So you need not basically spend a lot of time in reading those 8, 9, 10 standard NCERTs. If you are familiar and thorough with science and tech related issues in the current affairs, I believe that you will be good to go. You will be able to at least attempt 80% of the science and tech questions if you are good with your current affairs based knowledge on this particular topic. Similar is the case with polity. There are a lot of court judgments which are getting out. There are some bills and laws which are getting passed, and they get appeared in the prelims examination as MCQs. So that is basically an overview about how current affairs appears in the prelims examination. Now, what are the resources? For prelims, I recommend minimum resources and maximum revisions. So I would recommend any prelims booster discussion on the news on YouTube channels, or if there is something available on the Unacademy platform, you can go through that. Because how will this help? This will help you to listen something, because usually reading current affairs for prelims can get very boring. As I have said, the first line is about facts and data. So it is a lot of factual stuff which is involved, which may not have a context, and then you may get bored. You may have problems with retention. So if you basically follow regularly a prelims booster discussion, how it will help you is, first of all, that particular content will you will hear it, then you will read it. So you will see it and you will recollect it in your mind, and that will help you basically retain it for longer. And then one monthly magazine of any coaching institute, nothing more than that. One monthly magazine, that is very important, because that will give you a consolidated whole of all the happenings in that particular month. And you have to do multiple revisions, extremely important, multiple revisions. You have to have revised current affairs at least 4 to 5 times before going for the prelims examination. Now, how will this help? This will not only help boost your confidence, but this will also help you to get a lot of accurate answers, because as I have mentioned previously, there are around 15 to 20 questions which get derived from the current affairs, and it is very important in such sense to have basically done multiple revisions, because as soon as there's one liner which is a current affairs based, you should be able to tick the right answers, and this is only possible with multiple revisions. And this is something I would recommend for prelims. I have recommended in other videos that you should be solving 2 test series, and there should be at least 52 to 60 question papers which you should be solving in the 2.5 months before the prelims examination. Now, when you're solving these things, there may be some current affairs related questions which may go wrong, and now you need to create a book of wrongs for these questions. This book will only contain current affairs based questions which went wrong, and then you will be revising them again and again. And if such a question actually appears in the actual examination of UPSC, then you will be very comfortable with answering it in a correct manner. So that is the approach for prelims. Minimum resources, and maximum revisions. And this mantra will stay constant even for mains, even for personality test. So, current affairs for mains. Now, here the pattern changes. There are less facts and more topic based issues. So, you won't be dealing with a lot of mapping related things, a lot of factual things about art and culture, but you will be dealing with current affairs in a holistic sense. So, if there is an issue about, let's say, surrogacy, then what is the issue around it, what are the pros, what are the cons, what is the government taking measures for that particular issue. So, it is more topic based. It is not news based, but it is topic based. So, that is something that you have to keep in mind. And for this particular resource, I would say reading editorials thoroughly, because previously I mentioned when you are reading newspapers, you are continuously staying in that in touch with that particular topic for a considerable amount of time. And how this helps, it helps you get different points of views, but at the same time it helps you retain the issues associated with that topic for longer periods of time. So, very important again to read editorials and read newspapers. And then again, there will be monthly magazines you will be reading. These magazines will have a holistic depiction of all the current of that particular issue or of that particular topic, and then you will be having the pros, the cons, the government efforts, the way forwards, the recommendations, and you will be covering that topic holistically. Now, how to implement that in answer writing? So, there are numerous platforms which are providing daily questions based on current happenings. You can try to include 1 or 2 questions every day in your 5 answers which you will be writing daily before the prelims, and after the prelims also you will be writing 5 or 10 questions daily. So, depending upon that, you will have to include a few current affairs based questions, so that you are able to actually apply that knowledge which you have garnered through reading of newspapers, through reading of magazines, and then portray it on the paper. So, that is important. And then when you will be writing full length tests, there will always be a couple of questions or 3 or 4 questions which will be based on current affairs related topics. So, you will be revising and you will be writing those answers, and you will be basically evolving your answers about how to write, how to structure a current affairs based questions. If there are any recommendations that I should do extra research on, because I remember in one of the GS2 papers, the WHO issues was being asked, like is WHO losing its relevance, and then I had did some extra research on that particular topic. Just before the mains examination, India had provided some sort of guidelines for improvement of WHO, and I had written them as it is in the examination in the way forward section, and I believe that might have impressed the examiner, because I have around 96 marks in GS2 paper, which is a very good score and which is a considerable improvement from my previous year score of 70. So these are the small things, like you have to basically challenge yourself to get that 0.51 mark extra in every question you are writing than your competitors, and current affairs and revisions will help you do that. So, make notes topic wise. As I have said, there should be no note making for prelims. I am going to deal with this in detail on a specific slide, but what do I mean by this? You will take an A4 sheet, you will write the topic, let's say surrogacy, and then you will be writing about the pros, the cons, the government measures, and the way forward. So, that is what I mean by making notes topic wise. And revision. That is basically something that I cannot emphasize more on. It is very important to retain your knowledge, to reproduce it in the examination, because I like to tell everyone that one thing, the examiner does not know how many sources you have read. He only knows what you have written in that particular paper, in those 50 pages of your answer sheet, and so he is going to judge you only on those 50 papers, on those 50 pages. And if you have reproduced the best of the content according to your knowledge, that is going to portray your analytical skills, portray all your knowledge to the examiner. And if you have had minimum sources and revised them maximum times, that is the only way you can write a very comprehensive and a detailed answer and be able to complete the paper in those 3 particular hours. So this is the success key for everything. So revision is very, very, very important. So current affairs for interview, I'll like to go through these things in a little bit of a short notice, or in short. I like to go through this particular issue in short because I have already dealt a lot on this issue in a separate personality test video which I have already prepared. But as I have said, it is 1/3 of your interview can be on current affairs based questions, 1/3 will be on DAF, and 1/3 may be on opinion based questions. So extremely important, and especially those topics that are mentioned in your DAF. So for example, I had a master's in renewable energy. I worked with the US government, wherein the renewable energy is with the renewable energy lab. So one of the questions which was asked to me in the interview was, Vinayak, why is US doing double standards, wherein it is asking India to go net zero, but at the same time it is investing a lot in oil and gas. So this is basically a current affair based question, and since it is about my DAF background, I am expected to answer these questions. So even for personality test, current affairs is going to give you a lot of scope to impress the interviewer and to garner a lot of marks. And remember, in these cases, you have to take a stand. You have to support your stand with good arguments, with good facts, with good examples. And if you are able to do that, you can get marks which I got. I secured 212 marks in personality test, which was the second highest in India, and that is something that you can do with current affairs. So resources will be one newspaper daily. It will be either Hindu, Times of India, or Indian Express. You can read 2 newspapers if you want, but there will also be one economic newspaper and a local newspaper. So I would recommend 3 newspapers every day. One will be just for your news related issues. 2 will be for editorials, because there will be a lot of information which will be provided to you through editorials in those 2 newspapers. Economic newspaper will help you stay updated with factual related questions, and local newspaper will help you stay updated with things that are happening in and around you, which may be asked by the interviewer. Now, I have already mentioned this, 3 hours daily on 3 newspapers. You have to provide an opinion. I have already mentioned this, and this is again important. Reading 3 newspapers, reading magazines, going through RSTV debates is something, is one way of preparing current affairs for interview. But with so much large amount of knowledge, you have to have concise arguments. You have to have concise expression of your answers. So that only comes up with practice, and this is the practice. I have dealt about this in a lot of detail in the personality test interview video which I have prepared. So you can go through that. But this concise answering, this delivery of answers only comes with practice, and for that you have to form groups, you have to interact with your peers every day, you have to ask them questions, conduct mock interviews among each other, then go attend mock interviews at different coaching institutes, and for that particular purpose, current affairs for personality test is going to be a very important aspect of all your preparation. Now, how to make notes? As I've said, you need not make separate notes for prelims. The one magazine which you are referring to, you can just highlight whatever important points you find. You can, there is usually space provided in magazines on the right hand side. You can note down things on those pages itself, so that when you are revising for the 3rd or 4th time, you don't need to read the entire thing. You can just refer to the notes which you have made in the section on the right hand side. And one thing what you can do is you can note down topics separately. So what do I mean by this? You can make an A4 sheet for committee for the report and the agency which releases that particular report. For example, Human Development Index, it is released by so and so organization, and then Ease of Doing Business is released by World Bank. So you can make notes on those lines, but I do not recommend making notes for everyday current affairs. You have that work done already for you by the magazines, by the coaching institutes. So do not waste a lot of time and energy on these particular aspects. Try to make maximum utilization of your time, and this can be done through revisions. Rather than putting in a lot of time for making notes, you can use that time to revise more and more. Now for mains, I have already mentioned there should be an A4 sheet with all the pros, cons, government schemes, way forward, etc. This will help you answer any question depending upon the keyword. If it is critically analyzed, you can highlight more cons than what are the pros of a given statement. If it is analyzed, you can have a balanced stand on the pros, cons, what is the way forward, and that is the way to basically make notes for mains related current affairs. And this is one important thing. You can make a list of good statements and conclusions which are provided in the editorials. This can be used not only in GS answers as actual conclusions, but they can also be used in essays. If you have if there is something which is really impactful, which is conveying whatever you want to discuss in the most concise manner, you can just note down those statements. These should not be more than two or three pages, because when you are in the exam hall, you won't be able to remember all of them. So extremely impactful statements, you can make a separate 2 or 3 page notes for such statements. Personality tests, I have already told you that the way to make notes is not making notes, but you're actually discussing them with your friends. You can just note down the actual facts, because they may be useful while answering a particular question, but the actual note making is through discussions. The more you discuss, the more you actually deliver your answers, and the more you work on the feedback which you get from peers, from coaching institutes, the better it will help you. One final thing I would like to re-emphasize on revision. This may be repetitive, but the very nature of current affairs is something that makes me re-emphasize on this particular topic. Minimum sources, maximum revisions. I'll just go through the comprehensive summary. For prelims, 2.5 months prelims, you have to invest at least 2 to 3 hours daily to revise the magazines. Then you have to make a book of wrongs for current affairs questions which are going wrong, and then actually revise them time and again so that they don't go wrong in the future. Now for mains, again, you have to revise subject wise or topic wise. If possible, once you have those A4 sheets, the notes for which you have made, you can segregate them as GS2 and GS3, and then when you are actually dealing with when you are actually revising static portion of GS2, you can also revise those set of notes for GS2 which are derived from current affairs. Keep examples handy for GS4. Time and again I emphasize this. For GS4 and essay, if you have current affairs related examples, that is going to add a lot of value to your answer or your essay, and that is going to impress the examiner to a very large extent. So extremely important. And this is something that we'll be repeating. It is about for personality test, it is about having discussions rather than making notes, because there you are not writing, you are actually speaking. So that is the way to deal with current affairs. I hope this video helps. I wanted to highlight that I'll be working with Unacademy on the Plus platform. I will be working mostly on an ethics module as well as a society and social justice module. This will be the code VN37, through which you can find the courses which I will be conducting on this particular platform. V is for Vinayak, N is for Naravade, and 37 is my All India rank. So if you use this code on the Unacademy platform, you can actually easily find my videos and subscribe to my videos on the Plus platform. So hope this video has been this video has added some sort of knowledge to your preparation, and happy learning to all. Thank you.